should love, of course, to close off her first over is Kate Awa, one of the most experienced players in the Ghanaian side. She's been contributing with both bat in hand and ball in hand. In the air this time round, up. The fielder is settling herself under that one. Oh, she makes a miss of that one. As the captain is being given life.
Not really looking good. Similar to the way Lucky Piety went out against the Zimbabwe under-19. This was all for the taking. A little bit of short miscalculation from the fielder, and she dropped that catch, giving Lucky Piety an extra life. Yesterday, Mika was given an extra life, and Sifokuli was given several chances at batting and remaining in the crease, and they destroyed with the bat. Look at that ball again, already dipped down. Lucky Piety picking up in the air. She was underneath, or assumed that she was underneath the ball, and had to shuffle back very, very late. Didn't see the ball all the way into the arm, and a dropped opportunity. It will have been very, very beautiful seeing the captain, one of the best batters for the Nigerian women's side, go out quite quickly.
Not the best signs, of course. Kate Awa on the other side, that she is livid. She felt she had the captain of the opposition side. Catches win matches, they say. 7 for naught after 1. Left arm orthodox comes in from the Court of Appeal and starts off with a wide down the leg side. Of course, given that Lucky Piety was dropped on 3, should love to capitalize on that opportunity given by the Ghanaian side.
Ghana hasn't really been too lucky in terms of picking up wickets in this tournament. Celestina Sago picking up 1 wicket a wicket per game in the last 2 matches that they've played, and giving out 26 runs each in both matches. Not really tidy bowling figures, especially from the first game against Rwanda. Second game was quite very, very minimal, understandable. 4 overs, 26 runs. Ghana haven't really done too well in terms of picking up wickets. So far, they've only had 7 wickets in 2 matches compared to the other oppositions.
Up and over, but this time round, 1 bounce, 2 bounces over the boundary ropes from Victory as she breaks the shackles, getting her first boundary. Full on the occasion from Ernestina.
Another replay already into our play area. That big shot, that was the first time we saw. The last time she tried to go big against the Zimbabwe under-19, she lost a wicket. Today she's feeling more confident and very, very able to attack, given the how slow the balls are from the Ghanaian bowlers.
And you see that on the other side, she's been very handy in the power play for the Ghanaian side. They would love to see her make the inroads up front. Full again, swing and a miss, nearly takes the outside edge. It is a very good matchup for her, given that she is spinning it away from the right-handers. She has no sleeping play. She has a short third. Point covers, deep extra cover. Goes for a big slog sweeper. White signal by the umpire, Rajesh Pillai. She's always been looked to be struggling to bowl in the right channels. I would love to see her targeting that middle stump. See if, of course, she can extract that spin and patches out of the new pitch. Plays it very, very late. No chance whatsoever from the fielder, converging all the way from deep extra cover as they pick up yet another boundary. Is Victory.
Partnership looking to beat up. Again, in a playing area, just had to find that space and caught it into the gap. And the fielder could only chase in futility. Lovely boundaries. It's nice to see Victory Benedion attack again, given how experienced she is and one of the top batters for the under-19 and the senior women's side.
Turning out to be a very big over here for the female Yellow Greens. Already 10 runs coming off the first 5 from Ernestina. Full on the occasion, up into the vacant region. Can this race away to the boundary? Oh yes, it does. Back-to-back boundaries. And the boundary, of course, to close off the second over. It is the end of the second over. 21 runs on board for naught.
good length balls are one of Igbinidion's favorite shots to play. That ball came just in front of her, and it was up to our discretion to take that ball all the way to the boundary, taking advantage of the power play fielding placement.
A very good start here, you'd say, Peter, for the female Yellow Greens. They won the toss, they decided to have bat first. They find themselves right after the second over. 21 for naught, moving at 10 points, 5 runs and over.
Finally, I said a new standard for everyone to meet up to. So the closest they can get is having that chance to buy and play out all their overs instead of chasing. They want to close that gap between Fanny and any other batter on that list.
Lovely shot with offer on that occasion. The outfield has been electric on match day 3 as Lucky Paiti picks up yet another boundary. Kate Awa, who's been welcomed in the second over with a lovely cut shot from the captain. Square driven there from Lucky Paiti, who moves to 9:05. She can be very, very dangerous. She was given life earlier on when she was still on 3. Would love to make good use of that opportunity given by the Ghanaian fielders earlier on in the first over. Much better line and length there from Kate Awal, drawing back the length. She loves pace on and she's made sure she bowled that off cutter. Been very, very key for the Ghanaian side is Kate Awa. Love the fact that she knows how to variate her pace into the pads again. A white signal again from the umpire. That's been the story from the Ghanaian bowlers. A lot of extras.
Ghana has been, Kate Awa has been the top player for Ghana with the bat and the ball, scoring the most runs for them in 2 innings, 43. And also picking up 2 wickets alongside Ernestina Sago. A little bit more extras. 2 games, they had put 59 extras in just 2 games. That is a lot, considering how a very, very important a run is.
Got a feel for the Ghanaians, Peter. They haven't won a single toss in this tournament so far. Every time they've lost the toss, they've been put into ball first. In the air this time round, they put dumb hand coming into play from the captain. Gonna be very, very careful as Victory, her partner, is having a chat with the captain, Lucky Paiti.
As an opener, Victory Benedion usually does have trouble playing beyond the power play overs. But against Zimbabwe, she showed promises of being able to maintain her temperament and stay for quite a while. Almost losing a wicket there wasn't really necessary. And almost did, but that back edge, that miss of the ball and the wicket keeper sloppiness headed that ball to the boundary. Ghana have been one of the sides to give out a lot of byes and wide falls.
That should be, of course, the captain, shot number 6, Jacqueline Kokam, behind the stumps. Not a bad delivery there from Kate Awa, beating everyone, including the outside edge of the blade of Lucky Paiti, the captain. Despite the fact that she's gotten those 2 boundaries, she's looked to be struggling with the timing is Lucky Paiti.
The slow balls from Kate Awa are always very precise. It's just not a matter of slow ball. It's a matter of where that ball is landing, and it's landing in dangerous areas. The only time that Lucky Paiti has to play those balls are when they're outside of the stump. On the stump, she has to be very, very careful as not to make the mistake she made earlier of sending that ball into the air and at the discretion of the fielder.
Already into double digits is the captain. Another fumble in the deep, allowing them to scamper for another double. Lucky Paiti and Victory. The running has been superb. Inside 2.5 overs. They know every single run matters. We saw on day 1, Rwanda posting 210 runs against Team Ghana. In the air this time round again. There's a fielder who can only watch it sail over her. First maximum. Make that the 4th maximum in the 5th edition. Fifth maximum, I beg your pardon, coming off the blade of the captain, Lucky Paiti.
This time he was in Lucky Paiti's region, and she had that liberty of going all out, feeling more confident than the earlier mistake she made earlier. This was a much more complete shot and was headed to the boundary. Good end to the third over for the female Yellow Greens. 39 on the board, no wickets lost.
Absolutely, what a shot there to close off the third over from the captain, making good use of that chance given by the Ghanaians. She's already into 17 off 10 deliveries, 39 for note after 3 overs, moving at 13 runs and over. Look at that projected score. Peter is saying 260.
Would be nice to see the home team actually dominate at home and set a new tournament highest score. We saw Rwanda beat that on match day 1, putting 211, beating the previous set by Tanzania 2 years ago at 174. Not allowing Rwanda to enjoy that record for quite a long time will be something that we should look out for.
And of course, being well said, the captain herself is out there, 17 off 10. She is a solid player, and she has been for the female Yellow Greens in the last couple of years. Very young, talented player she is. She has the power. When you look at that maximum, she didn't get to the reach of the ball, but the power she generated, allowing the ball, of course, to go over the boundary for a maximum. Shot on the occasion, wide on offer again. Changing the bowling, coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Grace replacing, of course, Ernestina. Picked up the very first wicket against Team Rwanda over Giselle Ishimwe.
Fielding error is making things much more complex for the Ghanaians than it should be. They've had the chance, in the match they won, they had much better fielding, just disappointed with the bat. Yesterday against the South African under-19, the fielding was not very, so it wasn't something to brag about for Ghana.
Tattoo on the occasion from Grace. But again, when you look at these first 3.2 overs, do you think it's the fatigue that is catching up with the Ghanaian side? Every time they've played, this being the third game, they have bowled fast, playing out all the 20 overs.
Ghana is the only team so far to have played on every match day of this tournament. They started the tournament, they played yesterday against Zimbabwe under-19, and they are playing, my correction, the South Africa under-19, and they are playing against the Nigerian women 3 matches in a row, all in the morning, first game. So I wouldn't relate it much to fatigue. It's much to game time and experience. They've not had that in a long time, and that is starting to show.
Yeah, of course, as our mate said in yesterday's game, it's a lot of the positives they're going to take back home right after this tournament. .42 for naught after 3.4 overs. They would love to make sure they get enough on the board in the power play. A very good fielding there at mid-offer. That was struck powerfully by the captain. They would love to see if they can get to that 60 in the power play, of course, to stand a chance to get too close to that 180, as the captain mentioned earlier.
It is nice to see Grace Esson bowl today. She didn't bowl in the opening match fixture. Got the chance to bowl against South Africa. Did fantastic. 2 overs, 16 runs. Hasn't gotten a wicket yet. And she's coming too far and she's doing a very good job, I must say.
Wides on off again from Grace. I'm not sure why she's trying a lot of things in her first over. Every time she's pitched up the ball in the right areas and in her right channels, she's gone for only 2 runs.
Not too much of pace for the Ghanaian bowlers, but they've been very, very precise in length, and that has helped them and complemented for the slow bowling actions from most of their medium pace bowlers. And just one run off that last ball since the fourth over come to an end. Nigeria 44 for no wickets lost.
Rebecca will be replacing Keita from the pavilion end. Full on that occasion, a wall driven straight to long mid-on for yet another single. They keep the scoreboard ticking, is something they've been doing tremendously in the first 4.1 overs. The sun is coming out. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here in Lagos at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Nigeria, of course, earlier won the toss and decided to have a bat first. Up again. This time round, the ball will fall short at the fielder at long off.
One of the 10 bowlers for Ghana who is still yet to pick a wicket for herself, Rebecca Adote. She's already bowled 7 overs and given out 77 runs, no wickets yet. And so far off to a great start, right? 3 balls bowled and just 2 runs, not given an extra yet, and not considered a boundary. She's getting better, but from each match, I would say.
Lovely shot again, straighter. A little bit of footwork there from Rebecca. Interesting field they have here for Victory and Lucky Paiti. They have a long off and a deep square leg. The only 2 fielders outside the ring. Only rocks back with the back foot again. Nearly takes the off stump out of the ground. Gotta be very, very careful. You saw how the wicket it is double paced. Spoke about earlier how some balls can keep low.
There was a lot of pace behind that last ball. A pace that Victory Igmenidion wasn't expecting, and she reacted late. Luckily, he was on the stump. 1 over ball and just 2 runs given out. That is a very fantastic over and comeback from previous performances by Rebecca Adote. And end to the 5th over, and Nigeria could only add 2 more runs on the board. 46 for no lost.
Last over of the power play. Full up and over, no chance whatsoever. A lot of venom from that shot from the captain. 50 comes up inside 5.1 overs, courtesy of that lovely shot from the captain.
Full ball that was dealt with properly by Lucky Paiti. Saw that bowling, already got herself a maximum and adding more boundaries to it. She's definitely gone in for that. She's trying to chase behind Fan. If you look at the batting chart, the top 3 batters are all from the Rwandan side.
Knocks her over straight away. Look at the celebration from Grace. 1 shot too many, you would say. She was given a chance earlier on when she was on 3 runs. But this time round, Grace comes in to bowl her 2nd over, knocking off the captain. After, of course, the female yellow greens having crossed 50 inside 5.2 overs. They lose the first, and it's the big fish, the captain, Lucky Paiti, who has to depart.
Much deserving, Lucky Paiti. I underestimated that ball and wanted to play to the leg side. There was no turn behind it. That ball was on the stump. early cross bat, and she has to go back to the stumps. Kainde Amusa has she's been very so impressive that she's come up the batting order, having come in clutch for the team on 2 different occasions at the Kubuka tournament. She came in at the middle order, and now she's part of the top order in the batting and the bowling section for the Nigerian side.
Talking about the first wicket, of course, the captain, to be precise, not the best of shots, should have decided to choose after getting a very good shot over the top for a boundary. The shot selection has been very, very worrying for the captain, Lucky Paiti, as she walks back. Amusa joins a victory at the crease. Into the pads, white signaled again by the umpire Rajesh Pillai, who also made his debut in T20 internationals.
Lucky Paiti has been the first to lose a wicket while batting. She was the first to lose a wicket against the Zimbabwe under 19. And Nick Benedion followed suit before Salome and Kainde Amuson came in and finished the game for the female Yellow Greens. Benedion still very much in with 50 runs already. 5 runs better than her previous performance against the Zimbabwe under 19 team. Still, she's in the team and still a lot more expectations from her.
It's getting on there from Grace. Rushing, of course, at the new batter in, not giving her any room whatsoever to get off the striker. 51 for 1 after 5.4. 2 more deliveries to come in the power play.
That wicket from Grace has given the Ghanaian side so much boost and confidence, taking out a very big wicket of that of Lucky Paiti. Grace is feeling so relaxed. Our first wicket of the tournament, and for the Ghanaian side team, you can see everybody is looking very, very active now, looking for more wickets.
Full on the occasion, no ball signaled by the umpire Rajesh. Top edge over the keeper, and the chase will be in vain again. Much better there. Contribution from the blade of Amusa, and it's going to be a free hit.
You look at that ball again, not the intended direction that Amusa wanted, but that edge counts and it goes into our record books and registered as our own runs. That top edge, just not now regardless, but the keeper could have dealt with it better. Now she has a chance to find another boundary with a free hit ball.
Free hit to come, and it's Amusa Kehinde to face it. Was starting out to look like a very, very good over there from Grace. Started off with the boundary and the wicket, a big one of Lucky Paiti. She's not managed to close it off in style. Into the pads, rushing Amusa Kehinde with that shot as they finish the power play with 57 for the loss of 1 and the big wicket of the captain who had to depart. Let's have a look at that wicket again of Lucky Paiti after hitting 1 over the top. Full and straight, playing it across the line, losing the shape and balance. Not very good signs. She will not want to look at this replay back at the hotel, given the player of her caliber, the experience she possesses. She's been part of the Under-19 World Cup. She's not converted these small scores into the big ones. 23 of 17 ball by Grace. 1 maximum and 2 boundaries. Out there in the middle is Victory and Amusa Kehinde. 15 of 15 with a strike rate of 100 and 505 from Amusa Kehinde, the player of the year. Rebecca will be continuing from the pavilion end. Plays it on the back foot. Watchfully played by Victory. I beg your pardon, that's Kehinde Amusa. She keeps the scoreboard ticking. I will be taking a short break, allowing Mr. Andy Ofema to take us through the next phase of the game.
Thank you, Bob, and good morning, Peter. Nice atmosphere here. Nigeria trying to take a pounce of their own flesh on these young Ghanaians. It's been a beautiful batting platform set here, 58 for 1, 6.2. Wants a single noisy call straight to the fielders at covers.
Rebecca Dote has been really, really good so far with the ball in this particular match. 3 runs so far in 1.3 overs. 3 more balls to come. The expanded field has given the Ghanaian side a much more easier way of combating those big shots from the Nigerian big hitters. They've got themselves a long on, long off, a deep mid wicket, and a deep covers. No fielder behind the wicket keeper outside the 30-yard circle, as they've only got in place a short third man. And as such, there's a lot of work to be done by the wicketkeeper to make sure those by fours do not resurrect. Good end to the over for Rebecca Doughty. 7 overs completed for the Nigerian side. It's 59-4-1. No team has been able to play out the power play without losing a wicket. Rwanda coming close, finally losing a wicket in the 5th ball of the 6th over. That was the closest we've seen any team come to playing the power play without losing a wicket.
Musa Anigbinedion, victory 16 of 18, with the latest 6 of 8. Projected score here is 169. It will be good to see how the Nigerian batters walk around this young Ghanaian side.
Grace Carson back in the team. Wasn't in the team yesterday, played in the first match, and is back in the team now and has been instructed with the ball to bowl. A beautiful game of cricket. Andy, I want to ask you a question. Do you think the winner of this game will end the Jollof war between Nigeria and Ghana?
Again, this is a debate that has been on for years. And I'll tell you what, the Nigerian jollof have different varieties. I don't know if you have eaten the firewood jollof. It's a different taste with the one from the gas and the kerosene cooked one. Oh, brilliant shots. She finds the gap around mid-off. Gracing is nicely. Yeah, Musa. But I'll tell you what, the Ghanaian jollof is amazing as well. When you meet people who actually make it nicely. When you do visit Accra, try it. Maybe Ghana should have been a country in Nigeria or a state in Nigeria. Beautiful shot. Uppish, but safe.
Too much on the leg side, an appeal that was not acknowledged by the umpire of the part of the batter for a leg by 1 more run to the Nigerian board. Grace hasn't really ticked with a line per se. She's been delving too much, but she's been lucky that the batters haven't sent her to the boundary yet.
Playing that one too early. Benedion victory, just not happy That one kept it hard low. Another wide delivery. Something the coaches need to work on. Not quite convinced yet.
A ball this time on the stumps. And quick cover by the fielder. Up covers to prevent a run. And then to the 8 over it is. 65 on the board. 1 wicket.
Bowling figures there, just 1 wicket and taken by Grace Eswan. However, the economy rate of Rebecca Adote seems convincing. Just 4 runs from her 2 overs. And perhaps being saved for latter. Grace Kwenko also considered 5 runs in our first over. Again, 18 extras. Again, looks like the highest scorer at the moment. Hopefully a batter would go past that score.
Rebecca is doing so well in the 2 overs she's bowled, giving out just 5 runs. And she's coming to bowl the 3rd over. And the previous 2 games, she's given out a very huge amount of runs. The first game gave out 38 runs, first game 48 runs, second game 32. There's been a decline in runs, and this time it's looking like the runs have declined extraordinarily well. That fielding attempt has increased the runs for the Nigerian side. I don't know what happened there, but that ball is a stoppable one, and the fielder could have done better in terms of combating it, tried to put a leg in it. Probably this is football, we're saying, at some point in the game, and that's 4 more runs. The economy of Rebecca's over has been disrupted without field attempt. No contact there. This time the ball ends in the glove to the wicket keeper. All hands on deck will be needed for the Ghanaian side. The bowlers are doing a much better job in terms of not giving out too many extras or too many runs. But the fielding really need to step up and complement what the bowling have been doing so far.
I think it's good to see how Rebecca is managed so far. She seems to be getting better as the tournament progresses. And those are the positive you will look out for. Haven't been away from the international scene for quite some time. And playing against a very experienced Nigerian side. And these are World Cup players. Last year we saw them against New Zealand, Scotland, and South Africa. And to see Ghanaians competing at this level, it's a beautiful sight to behold. And just to invite everyone for the legacy program planned for tomorrow, where young female cricketers will be taken through their paces by the teams and the coaches in this tournament, and building the connection between participating teams and the future generations of girl cricketers.
Nine overs completed so far. It is 72 on the board. And the wicket of Lucky Pirate has been the only one that has been dislodged for the Nigerian side.
And it's the end of the ninth over. Score is on 72 for 1. And Peter seems to be excited about this one. What you reckon, Peter? That's the batting partnership for you. It's been Lucky Petty and Ibidenium Victory. Will put up 50 of 32 deliveries with 23 and 15 apiece. Petty has departed, and Musa and Ibidenium Victory just 22 of 23 balls. Surprisingly, Musa added 13 of those ones, with 3 coming from Victory Ibinedion. Extras playing a crucial role here. Ghanaians will have to watch that one.
Too much on the leg side, and this time way out of even the wicket keeper's reach, as Grace gives a freebie to the Nigerian side, a wide +2. 3 more runs are to the board. 5 runs in the previous over, 3 already of the first ball of the second over. It is not the kind of start you want to begin an over with, especially against a free playing side like the female Yellow Greens. Into the gap, but wasn't enough power behind it as the fielder on deep covers was able to chase down and hit that ball and prevent any boundary from ever occurring. Amusa currently is having her own fun, already close to Igbenedion, an individual score up in the air as it bounced just outside. That first pitch was just outside of the 30th circle. No fielder from the long off and long gone was close enough to take that catch.
More and more opportunities here for as many runs as possible. And Peter, we spoke about that century from Fanny. We can see how tough it is to put the ball away here. You have to be disciplined. A century is a century anywhere in the world. And even the time to bat through that period to get a century requires plenty of discipline.
A very beautiful performance from Fanny on the match. They didn't really find a rhythm yesterday as she got caught out by the Zimbabwe under 19. We will look forward to seeing more performances from Fanny. She is still on top of that batting chart, followed closely by Marvel Uwase. Every time she's come close to attacking the Storm's Grace, she's not really being played, giving her a lot of extras, more extras than runs actually played off of bat against her in the overs. But so far, she's done excellently well. 11 runs given out in total, and ending and looking to end the 10th over in style. Already almost 1 ball away from a drinks break, 1 ball away from a strategic planning, and 1 ball away to give this game another turn.
Well, something interesting is happening to me right now. Peter will tell you about it. And someone has just sent me a message and said, talking about jollof rice, have you tried the Sierra Leone and the Gambian varieties of jollof rice? And this is someone that I hold dearly, Dr. Michael Ayivo. Nice to see that you're following these games. I tell you, that's the man behind some brains around development, and we are halfway through this innings, and it's 78 for the loss of 1 wicket. And it will be drinks breaks.
back from the drinks break. Nigeria 78 runs for loss of 1. The West Africa Derby. 5th Nigeria Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament. Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup. Kende Amusa just retired out. And Salome Sunday is in. The brief is simple. It's high time they went for the kill. Victory Igbinedion retired. Kende Muiba Amusa will be batting alongside Salome Sunday. And there's one thing drinks break does. It's either it re-energizes the batting side or it gives the bowling side the advantage. There's bit of tete-a-tete going on at the center. The two on-field umpires, Rajesh Pile and Siolise Nomsa Diam, having a conversation with the Ghanaian players led by their captain, Kokam Jacqueline. Great to be here. Match 5, day 3 of this competition. Much later in the afternoon, a blockbuster fixture will happen. Rwandan cricket national team, champions of 2022, yet to taste a defeat at this tournament, will be slugging it out with debutant South Africa under-19, who also got a victory yesterday over these same Ghanaians. One thing has to give. Who blinks first? That's the big question that will be answered much later in the afternoon. Peter, it's great to be back here. And of course, your thoughts about the first 10 overs of Nigeria's innings and that of Ghana.
Yeah, there's been a lot more composure in the batting, play of the Nigerian side, and this is an improvement also for the Ghanaian women's side. The fielding hasn't been too much of an encouragement, but the bowlers have been much more in line and length, bowling to the wicket and minimizing the runs. We're not seeing too many boundaries being played off the bowlers like we've seen in the last 2 games. Rebecca Adote coming in and doing better than she's done in 2 previous matches.
The name that has something to do with prominent names in Nigerian cricket. One was former president Nigeria Cricket Association and former chairman African Cricket Association, but currently the chairman of the Lagos Cricket Stakeholders. And the younger brother was the former Lagos State Cricket Association chairman. Both played for FCC, both represented Nigeria, Kwesi and Kofi Sego respectively. And the bowler is Ernestina Sego. Tempted to ask, does she have any affiliation with the Segos of Nigeria?
That was lovely shot from Salome Sunday. You can hear that knock was made in the right point of the bat and sent straight to the boundary. But that ball, slow as it was, in a line, in a length, on the off stump, and dealt with properly to the boundary. Salome Sunday being one of the most consistent player and ever present since making her debut for the women's national team. She's not been dropped or benched at any period in time and made herself always and readily available to play for the women's national team.
You can say that again, Peter. Prior to this game, Peter, I just need to ask you why we have been impressed with the performance of the teams, because it's all about Africa, the growth and development of African cricket from the female perspective. And that was what late Patricia Chipo Kambarami stood for, development of cricket in Africa and by extension women's cricket. After 4 matches prior to this game, I stumbled on the stats and I was a bit worried. I don't know whether you are also worried. In 4 matches, we have 133 extras. 133 extras. That's 4 matches, 8 innings. I don't know your thought on that.
Yeah, most of those extras have come from the Ghanaian side, given how long they've been away from competition, and as well as the youthful side of the Zimbabwe and South Africa cricket. And that I can compliment for that. We're given inexperience and also timing. They can adjust. The South African under 19 were full of youth players and averaging 16 years, averaging 15, my corrections. They had an average age of 15. And at that young age, there's still a lot to be learned. They're still very, very far from perfection. And so you can understand from all those kind of scenarios. But at the same time, all matches have been exciting and watching. Ghana today have been doing very excellently well, bowling to the stumps and making sure that the Nigerian batters have had to play off bat. So going forward, I'm sure we're going to see more improvement and more bat and ball play.
Salome Sunday and Kehinde Muiba Amusa batting after the drinks break. The coach of the side, Ambassador Theophilus Ibodeme, decided to do a batting change, taking out Victory Gbinedion through retirement. What a beautiful catch there. The Ghanaians, lessons have been learned from their 2 losses. Salome Sunday is gone.
She's not very impressed. She's currently Nigerian. Before today, she has had the most runs for Nigeria against this Ghana side, best individual score. But that ball came into her and she wanted to attack on the front foot. That late decision was what was responsible for that aerial ball that saw her go out quite early, almost as soon as she came. A first wicket for Grace Koso. Every time there's been a fall of wicket, you've seen a lot better enthusiasm and approach to the game from the Ghana fielders.
In comes Christabel Chukwuonye, CC. And just in my usual line, this is Christabel Chukwuonye, CC, but not on the MIC.
Coming in for Salome Sunday, Christabel got herself on the runs chart and ended the 12th over for the female Yellow Greens. It is 7-4-2. When you look at that wicket again, that ball, the length could have been a much more better approach, could have gone towards the ball, but that decision to open up and play it low wasn't the right contact point of the bat. And a fielder, for the first time, we saw a catch being taken by the Ghana side. Wonderful catch, by the way, to acknowledge for Rashidat Salia.
They seem to be threatening the storms of the female yellow-green. Grace Kwasio, Kate Awua, one of the most experienced players in this Ghanaian side, still in search of our first wicket as far as today is concerned.
She has made sure to pick up a wicket on every single match today. Could this be our own wicket? I guess not. It isn't. Just about the fielder. No infielder was close enough to get that catch. And a scare survival for Christabel Chukwunoye. Forced to play a defensive stroke. Kedawa is not much of a pace bowler, doesn't really bowl a fast ball or even close to a medium fast ball. But that length that ball drops at most of the time inconveniences batter. And the Nigerian batters are not, at this point, would not want to take any risks to approach that ball and meet it at the midway point. Off the glove, that ball comes. Could have gone to the boundary if the contact point was the bat, and they will settle for one run. Amusa Kinde Muhibat, the batter that is, she's not really found a rhythm yet in this tournament as it stands, but she's still, regardless, she's still one of the mainstay players at the moment for the female yellow greens.
Credit must go to the Ghanaians ensuring that Nigeria finds it difficult to get those boundaries. In their very first game, they were hit for 211 by the Rwandans. In the game yesterday against the South African under-19, see that again on replay.
Yeah, that beautiful catch by debutant Abigail. You just have to see the multiple occasions. Coming into the national team and getting and contributing to a wicket for your team is very, very beautiful. I will admit it. And taking out the wicket of a top player like Salome Sunday, a very, very beautiful thing for the young girl. She will have something to take home if she gets the chance. If she doesn't get the chance to come in and bat for the team. But so far, it's been a good performance from her. Full and outside of off and properly dealt with by Christabel. A fielder in the deep was quick enough to pick that ball and return. One more run for the female yellow greens. Rashida Salia, a very, very, very big player for this Ghanaian women's team. She and Kate Awua have been very, very, very beautiful in terms of doing their own parts for the team.
In all of this, there are lots of positives to be taken from the Ghanaian side. I was talking about them, Peter, their first game, it was 211. The game yesterday against the South African under-19, it was 164. At some point in time, they had the South Africans in a place where they didn't want to be. They were 28 runs for loss of 2 wickets. But Mickey Van Vos, Captain Fantastic, led from the line like she's supposed to, play the captain's inning, 50 runs, to emerge as the player of the match. But they eventually scored 164 for losing just 4 wickets. And if you look at how they've kept Nigeria in a place where the fans and the team and the officials have their heart in their mouth, you have to say that Kofi Anafi must be proud of these girls.
I most certainly would agree with you on that one. Been away for so long and coming up against teams that have been very frequent or have played international team matches more recently, bonded well. It is so they always have the higher hand, and that comes up with an example of that very beautiful maximum from Christabel Chukwunoye. Went down on one knee and met that ball at the right point. A slow ball and that bounce. She sent the bounce and just she was already on the ground already waiting for that ball. Middle point contact with the bat. Another boundary, the second boundary maximum for the female yellow green. That is the 7th boundary, the 6th maximum we're seeing in this tournament. 3 yesterday, 1 on match day 1, and we're seeing 2 more today. We still have another match to go. Possibly we could get to even double digits in maximums for this tournament.
And with that maximum from Christabel Chukwuonye takes Nigeria to 103. If you were to be a Cricket World Cup, you will see on the big screen 100 kits available. I don't know what's available today.
Christabel very quickly has already gotten herself into double digits. The only person so far that couldn't get into double digits was Salome Sunday after the lovely catch by debutant Abigail Musu. Growing in confidence, Christabel Chukwunoye. Another batter who hasn't really been consistent for the female yellow greens. Not having to build a lot of time in the batting crease or not putting a lot of runs while batting. But today, she's here. And she's looking to build up the tempo. She's going all out in attacking. Less than 6 overs left to play. A lot of wicket at hand. And this is where this is the whole turning point of the game. That the wicket starts to fall or the runs start to inflate.
Like Ghana, like Zambia, the only difference between Ghana and Zambia is that Zambia had a long hiatus, 8 years, and in Abuja for the second West Africa trophy, the Zambians were there. They eventually finished in 3rd position and had about 3 or 4 of their players in the team of the tournament. They gave a good account of themselves. The likes of Ayaz Dadabai, Zoe Pendi, Zoeb Chand, it was good to see this team. And they said Nigeria gave them that opportunity to be back after missing out for 8 years. And with the performance that we saw of them and the world saw, I'm sure that going forward, Zambia will be a force to be reckoned with. They were rankless, but now I think they can look back and say we gave a good account of ourselves.
Very much agree with you. And ending a bowling spell for this inning is Rebecca Adotti. Very good performance, lovely performance coming from yesterday. Yesterday gave out 32 runs in 4 overs. Today gave half of that in 4 overs completed. The runs have been declining from my end. First match, a lot of extras and a lot of boundaries considered. She opened the bowling, and now she's been improving every single match that she's had to step up. Very lovely performance. 15 overs completed, 109 for 2 wickets lost. 5 more overs to go, and this is where control is very, very pivotal ahead of the second innings.
The current run rate is at 7.27, and the projected score will be at 145, which ultimately puts Nigeria the 3rd best. But before we talk about 3rd best, let's look at partnership. Lucky Piety and Igbinedion Osaivie Victory had a 50-run partnership of 32 balls, becoming the 2nd team to have that 50-run partnership. Amusa Kehinde Muibat And Victory Gbenedion had a 28-run partnership from 29 balls. And Amusa Kehinde and Salome Sunday had an 8-runs partnership from 10 balls. And currently, it's Amusa Kehinde and, of course, Christabel Chukwuonye.
They do currently on 23 runs. And Kehinde Amusa has bested Lucky Pity's earlier score in this inning. And she's looking to add to that. One run for the female Yellow Greens. Christabel taking herself off strike, sending Kehinde Amusa. Two young players, two young batters already into the national team, integrated and in the top order of the batting.
Kehinde Amusa made a debut for Nigeria in Rwanda during the under-19 qualifiers, and then went on to do well at the World Cup, the second edition, where Nigeria finished 6th by getting into the Super 6. And our senior debut came at the Kwibuka Women's T20I tournament in Rwanda, Kigali, a competition that has seen over 10 editions, used to celebrate over 256,000 people that lost their lives in the Tutsi and Hutsi crisis. And it's become a big, globally recognized. Every June, the world wants to be at Gahanga. 4 runs for Christabel Chukwuonye.
What a maximum, and now another boundary for self or ball that was swinging to the leg side was sent properly into the deep. No fielder was within reach, and that was another run scored for Christabel Chukwuonye. A dot in the last ball of this over. 16 overs completed, 115 for just 2.
Thank you, Peter, there. As we get into the back end of the first innings of match day 3, game number 5. Female Yellow Greens won the toss to have a bat fast. They found themselves on 115 for the loss of 3 wickets, given that Victory was retired out. They would love, of course, to step up and bat in the second gear to make sure they get even closer to that 150 runs. So far in the tournament on match day 3, we've seen 2 sides, Rwanda and the South Africa under-19s crossing that 150. Of course, the host nation would love to put on a commanding total, given that right after the off day, you would say tomorrow, where all the sides will be having a rest. They will be taking on Team Rwanda on Tuesday. It is a rivalry. They would love, of course, to come into that game with a lot of momentum and confidence, given that Rwanda so far are yet to lose a game where they will be taking on the South Africa under-19s. Kate Awa Wubigi brought back for her last spell coming in from the pavilion end. She's been very, very key, a little bit expensive in today's game. Should love to make sure they don't get as many runs as possible, as these two are building a partnership in Musa Kehinde, who is already on 26, and Christabel, 18 or 14. For on the occasion, swing and a miss again. Very good bowler she has been in the last couple of years for the Ghanaian side. Bring out all the experience she possesses. Moving at 7.11 is the female yellow greens. Ajideba, what do you think will be the total the female yellow greens would field as we see that boundary again into the pads, angling on the leg side for an easy boundary there from Kehinde Amusa, who moves into the 30s. The best of deliveries there from the experienced Kate Aua. She knew she had no fielder patrolling that particular fine leg region, allowing Amusa Kehinde to pick up an easy boundary. No chance whatsoever from Miriam Eshim, who was giving it a chase, but the chase was in vain.
Bob, you asked me a very pertinent question to say, where will the female yellow greens eventually finish on? The projected score is telling us 146, but I always say that there's a difference between expectation and reality. In probability, the probability of throwing 6 in a die is 1/6. They could surpass what the projected score is saying if they continue to hit those boundaries, and it could be lower than what the projected score is saying. So we watch this space. They need more of those boundaries, and they need Kehinde Amusa to continue to do what she has done. Back-to-back boundaries, good in this over.
A lovely shot there on the up from Kehinde Amusa, who is in fine touch. Back-to-back boundaries, full outside off stamper. Got into the line of the ball, came out of the sweet spot of the blade. No chance whatsoever from the fielder at long off, who had to chip in some footwork, but in vain. Putting on a show of her own is the player of the year 2025, Kehinde Amusa. Full again, plays it on the up once again, but this time round straighter to the fielder at long off. Looking for the second is Christabel Chukwone. She has to be very, very quick. And they pick up a double with ease. Very good running between the wickets.
Well, I agree with you, but there's a bit of sloppiness on the part of Christabel. She had to delay and was slow about it, and that could have cost the team. But again, they recover. Good over, you want to say, from Kehinde Amusa.
Very intelligent youngster she is. You can see even on that previous delivery, she wanted to take on that single as quickly as she can so that she keeps strike. But Christabel caught ball watching from the other end. Knocks her over. She denied that single, and now Kehinde Amusa has to pay the price. Something Christabel Chukwone has to think about. You always want to give strike to the person who is in form. 36 over 39 balls. You'd feel she's done her team a tremendous job. Is Kehinde Amusa, but she has to depart as they pick up their third wicket. Fourth wicket, given that victory. Retired Hart. Let's have a look at that. Full straight from the experienced Kate Aua. No chance whatsoever, losing her shape. Middle stamp out of the ground. The stamps have to be rearranged. 125 for the loss of 3 after 17 overs.
In comes former opening batter at some point in time, Esther Sandy, also very good at striking the ball. But now she's a middle order batter, and a lot is expected from her in the last 3 overs.
For another occasion, another sloppiness in the field, allowing the female yellow greens to pick up yet another boundary. Christabel Chukwonye, she's lost her partner, but she's made sure she welcomes Rashidat with the boundary straight away. Let's have a look at that again. Very sloppy there from the fielder in the deep. We've been talking about how they've spent 3 years without playing international cricket, but again, I would want to see them improve in their fielding skills. creating room, but what an effort there at covers. Run out chance. Not the best of throws, allowing Esther Sandy to get in with no troubles. Coming back to Esther Sandy, 3 years ago, she was one of the best players of the female Yellow Greens. I'm not sure what happened down the road.
Again, you want to say tactics by coaches differ. The tactics employed by Adeleke Mutioede, the former coach, is different from what Ambassador Theophilus Ibodeme has employed. They felt she should drop down and allow Lucky Piety to open batting with Victory Benedion, and maybe you could get the best from her.
She doesn't need any sighters, is Esther Sandy, with offered on that occasion. Got it on the full, no chance whatsoever from the fielder at deep extra cover as she gets off the mark with the boundary. Very lovely, 2 good overs for the female Yellow Greens at the back end. They would love to capitalize on this and see if they get to that 165 odd runs in their first innings. Already 9 runs coming off the first 4 balls. 134. Full again. Misses it completely. Trying to overhit the ball is Esther Sandy. That would have been an easy delivery to hit for a boundary, given the gap between long off and deep extra cover. Last ball from Rashidatu. Dropped it a little bit shorter. Not enough timing. They should be looking for the second run out chance. The throws have not been accurate from the Ghanaian fielders, allowing these two to pick up a double. Another very good over there from the female Yellow Greens. 12 runs coming off that Rashidatu's over. 136 for 3 after 18.
And see the bowling spell for the Ghanaians. We've seen 6 bowlers. The only people that boast of wickets, Kate Awa, Grace Eswan, and Grace Kwasio. Every other person still in search of a wicket. Sego yet to get a wicket. Rebecca Adotel, our own, is complete. And now we are into the 19th over. Elizabeth Anor coming from the pavilion end.
Interesting decision, you'd say. She hasn't bowled a single over in the 18th over. She comes in to bowl the penultimate over where 2 set batters, especially Christabel, who's on 23, and Esther Sandy, who just picked up a boundary from the very first ball. And she's decided otherwise, is the captain. Very smartly done. Plays it on the back foot, straight to the fielder at covers. I would love to see these two, Christabel and Esther Sandy, unleashing those long levers. Try and get as many runs as possible. You don't want to find yourselves tying with the likes of one of the favorites, Rwanda, with the same points, and the difference being the net run rate. So you should always try and capitalize, given that they have 7 wickets in hand. One short run, says the umpire.
The lady bowling has a surname that rings a bell to every one of us. Esther Bakiwayem. We all know a player called Godfrey Bakiwayem for the male team of Ghana. I'm sure they have a bit of nexus. They could be family members, or that name is just a popular name in Ghana, just like Singh in India.
Shot on the occasion, but rushes her with that pace is Esther. Another dot ball turning out to be a fantastic penultimate over here for the Ghanaian side. Already only 1 run coming off the first 4 deliveries. Something they need to think and readjust is the female Yellow Greens at the back end. This is where you expect your batters to get to that 14 or even 15 runs and over moving forward. At this similar stage, Rwanda was sitting on 180 something in the first game against the similar opposition side. Short and wide, but this time round, extra signal by the umpire.
Except a miracle happens, it's not certain that Nigeria will get to the score that South Africa under-19 team achieved yesterday. You have to feel for that fielder from what looked like Christabel Chukwuonye was going to be gone. There was a bit of slippery movement, and that gave room for 3 extra runs that Nigeria will take.
A good running between the wickets from Esther Sandy and Christabel. Last ball from the top edge on the occasion. Chips in a dive. What a take. One of the contenders of the catch of the tournament. Shot number 8. Remember the name. Elizabeth Arnold. She was at some stage going to bowl the penultimate over, but she's made sure she's taken one of the contenders of the catches of the tournament to dismiss, of course, Esther Sunday. But what an over it has been. 5 runs coming off the penultimate over as we come to the end. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Shot on the occasion, didn't get enough timing. Taking a top edge, but what a diving effort from Anor. The catching has been perfect. Yes, they put down a couple, but what an effort. She will be opening the batting if I'm not surprised. The old hope, she's back on her feet, is Elizabeth Anor. 141 for 4 after 19. Last 6 deliveries to come in the first innings of match day 3, game 5 of the Nigeria Invitational Women's T20 Tournament live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square.
Bob, I can analyze Elizabeth Anor's catch in facets. You want to say poor batting from Esther Sandy. Looks like a player that is very, very rusty. All the way, there was nothing that exuded any confidence. See that again on replay. There was no power, no anything, but see that running. That, for me, is the catch of the tournament. You look at, Bob, the replay will help you appreciate the aesthetics that comes with that catch. Running from that place, going with your 2 hands, picking the ball, landing, and still ensuring that the ball does not drop is a technique that should be studied in Harvard University.
I agree with you there, given of course that they've been not the best in the field. And when you look at that catch, it reminds me of just the recent concluded T20 World Cup, the likes of the Glenn Phillips, the likes of Brian Bennett from Zimbabwe, and the likes of Nisanka. They took almost the same similar catches. It's one of those days where you feel for the side like Ghana, who has spent 3 years. I would love to give me myself a token of appreciation to Anol for that spectacular catch. Very well done there from the former female Yellow Greens, Asika Omoye. Sprinting back to her taint. She's still fit, you would say.
Absolutely. This is what we preach, that you play the game and you also get an education, because after the game, you fall back on your education. She's a medical doctor and she used to be a cricketer.
Last 6 deliveries, it's going to be Esther, who's picked up 1 with very good, going for only 5 runs, coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Up against wicketkeeper batter Sarah Etim. They would love to make sure they capitalize and see if they can cross that 150 to be the 3rd team, of course, to cross that 150 runs. She has a short third man deep. Square leg, long off, long on, deep extra cover. Flat batted, there's protection in the deep. Christabel will love to tack on the arm of the fielder in the deep, who makes it very, very easy for them to pick up a double with that fumble in the deep.
Grace Esson saddled with that responsibility to bowl the final over. And just like Bob said, Let's see. 5 more good balls to be bowled. 7 to get to 150. Will it be possible? They want to put pressure on the fielder. Looks like a run-out chance, but again, good running in between the wickets. Wicket keeper Sarah Etim and Christabel Chukwuonye running in between the wickets. 4 runs already from 2 balls.
Sarah Etim, on the other hand, she's done her shuttles so far. Yet to face a single delivery, but she's been running. Christabel Chukwuonye crosses 30 runs. Shot on that occasion. That's a go-to shot. 1 bounce for 4. Much better there from Christabel Chukwuonye. Bring out, of course, her signature shot. Very good player. She is square the wicket. One for the future, you would say, for the female yellow greens. Let's have a look at that again. Shot on that occasion. Half tracker into the vacant deep mid-wicket region for a boundary. Make that 8 runs coming off the first 3. 149 runs. Only 1 run shy for the female yellow greens to cross that 150. That should be the 150 coming up for the female yellow greens. A little bit of fumble there in the deep again as they pick up yet another double. Fitness test there from a Team Sarah who's been running for the first 4 deliveries. 2 more deliveries to come.
Esther Bakiwayem was a culprit for that ball. And that's wide ball. Christabel Chukwuonye, best batter for Nigeria in the first innings. And following closely, Kehinde Muibat Amusa, best player of the year for 2025. Another wide ball. The extras getting much. Rajesh Pile doing what they call flexion and extension in anatomy. Extending the arms. Nigeria continue to rack up runs. But looking a bit impossible for them to get to the runs that South Africa under 19 got. And they want to put pressure on the fielder, which they successfully did. And the last good ball of the first innings, 155.
Sarah Etim, on the other hand, she has cleared her fitness test for the next tournament for the female yellow greens with those shuttles. Last delivery in the first innings of our match day 3, game number 5. 155 for the loss of 4. Christabel Chukwuonye putting on a show in the last over the first game of the day. 39 off 26. Takes a little shimmy, picks the ball on the full. 1 bounce, 2 bounces over the boundary ropes. What a way to close off the first innings from Christabel Chukwuonye, who stays not out for her 43 off 27. And of course, the female yellow green. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. She took a little shimmy, picked the ball on the full. Look at the balance. Kept her eyes on the ball into the vacant Kaukona region for a boundary. And the female yellow greens finds themselves posting a very good total, 161 for the loss of 4 in their allotted 20 overs.
Bob, interesting to say that going into the last 6 balls of the final over, you talked about the possibility of Nigeria getting a 150, but they scored 20 runs in that over. Look at the batting scorecard for Nigeria. Captain Lucky Piety scoring 21 runs off 17 balls, 2 fours and 1 sixes.
She started off very well, is the captain, but ended up again chipping away an easy wicket, not of course converting the 20s into the big ones.
And of course, the match summary, Bob, thank you. Christabel Chukwuonye, 43 runs off 27 balls, followed by Amusa Kehinde Muibat, 36 runs off 39 balls. Lucky Piety, 23 off 17. And for the bowling, Kate Awa, 1 for 33 in 4 overs. Grace Aswan, 1 for 39 in 4 overs. And Grace Kwasio, 1 for 13 in 3 overs. Nigeria 159 for loss of 4 wickets in 20 overs.
To enjoy some of the highlights as we will be back for the second innings.
Welcome back to the second innings of Match 5, Day 3 of the Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the 5th edition, the Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup. Nigeria batting first, scoring 159 runs for loss of 4 wickets. Christabel Chukwuonye, top batter with 43 runs from 27 balls. Amusa Kehinde Muibat, 36 runs from 39 balls. And Lucky Piety, 23 runs from 17 balls. Kate Awa, 1 wicket for 33 runs in 4 overs. Grace Swan, 1 wicket for 39 runs in 4 overs. And Grace Kwasio, 1 wicket for 13 in 3 overs. And of course, Nigeria would ensure that their opponents don't score 160 in the allotted 20 overs. And for Kofi Anafi, the coach of the Ghanaian team, they are desperate in search of their first victory after losing their first 2 games against South Africa under-19 team and, of course, the Rwandan cricket national team, respectively. There will be a change in bowling for Nigeria. The very first game, Peter, we are used to the lady who did very well in Malaysia, reliable bowler. They needed 7 runs to win New Zealand, and they handed her the ball, and she delivered perfectly well. Lilian Ude used to open the bowling for Nigeria from the Court of Appeal end, but today she's not opening the bowling. That responsibility has been given to the player of the match for the game against Zimbabwe under-19. And the reason is very simple. She's not in this game for match day. Reason because she has to go back to school as a 100-level student of University of Port Harcourt, where she's studying human physiology. She has an exam, and tomorrow, which is rest day, she will be back again, ready for the game against Rwanda. We preach these kind of things, that sports and education are intertwined.
Couldn't agree more with you, Ajidagba. And Peace Hussein being man of the match, fantastic bowling spree in the first game. It is just right that she continues with her momentum. And there's also been a change in the batting order for Ghana. We see Kate Awuah usually coming in 1 down. It's been sent into open and pair with Rashida Salia. Rashida Salia, we batter with the highest individual score against Ghana for Nigeria. Against Nigeria for Ghana, she's had 20 on the board. No other Ghanaian batter has gotten up to that, and today she will look to do better than that. Or rather, she and Kate Awuah will need to do better than that, build up a partnership and try and push Ghana to as close as possible in this run chase. Haven't really been able to pull up to 100 on the board, and this is the match that they need to be able to reach that.
You talk about the batting scorecard. Leading the line has to be undoubtedly the batters of the team that is yet to taste a defeat and who have a game later this afternoon. I'm talking about Team Rwanda, who are leading on the board. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Peace Hussein has struck again, giving her 4th wicket, 1 short of the best bowler of the tournament presently, the captain of Rwanda, Bimeyimana Mari Diane, who has gotten 5 wickets by virtue of a superlative performance yesterday that ended the player of the match. So she's now 1 short of Diane, who has 5 wickets, but have played a game more than this Peace Hussein. And quickly, Peter, before I allow you to do your thing, let me quickly run you through the batting. The top 3 has to be Fanny Utagushima-Ninde, who has 117 runs from 2 matches. Uwase Meville, the wicket keeper, has got 71. And Gisheli Shimwe, who also did very well yesterday with the bat, scoring 40 runs against Zimbabwe, has 54 runs. And of course, for bowling, Diane has 5 wickets. Mickey Van Vost has 3 wickets from 1 match. And of course, Peace Hussein had 3 before now, but now has 4 wickets.
Thank you very much for that statistics, Ajidagwa. And incoming now is the debutant, Abigail Amusu, who took a very lovely catch, the wicket of Salome Sunday. And now she's had to come in very, very early in the game. The tactical decision by Ghana to send Kate Awuah, who has been coming in 1 down, coming in place of the opening pair, is coming in, opening, and she's lost Abike quite early, leaving Abike Amusu to be the new person to take up the mantle. Such a huge responsibility on your debut. Finally stepped up on her debut game for the Rwandan side. There is that wicket again. That late decision from Rashidat Saliu. They're used to the Ghanaian side are used to, staying at the back to play, always waiting for that turn. They've not really been successful in playing spin bowlers, always waiting for that late turn to actualize before they can move into it. This time the decision was a wrong one, and it backfired, I would call it, and now they've lost a wicket in the first over of play. The momentum has shifted for the Ghanaian players. Every good deed has its reward. Kende Amuson is paying our own reward for being good and with the ball and bat. Came in early, one down to bowl, and is also coming in now as an opening bowling pair, replacing P.S. Hussein. A wicket off the first ball for her. Kate Awuwa as the victim of the good performances from Kende Amusa. 2 wickets in quick succession, 2 wickets in less than 2 overs of play. Nigerians are having the last laugh of it. And if we go into the replay, it's the same thing we've talked about. Talk about Ghana not being able to, attack the ball, always waiting for that first bounce or waiting to see the direction of the ball before attempting it. There was no foot movement, there was no foot in play, and that ball was already a choke for Kate Awuwa. She couldn't react in time to present her bat in front of the ball. 2 wickets. Nigerians are having a laugh at the moment. Ghana, it seems like the third attempt at a victory over the female Yellow Greens will have to wait a little bit longer.
Well said, Peter. And it's almost looking like a bad day at the office for Team Ghana. And I'm sure the whole world eyes is fixated. Later this afternoon, the Rwandans have arrived the Tafawa Balewa cricket oval, and you should expect that any moment from now, South Africa under 19 team will arrive the venue. Battle of 2 teams that are yet to taste the defeat.
Jacqueline Kukam, the captain for Ghana, has had to come in. A little bit of shuffling in the batting order. Elizabeth Anor, that we used to see in open batting, has gone down the batting order. And Jacqueline has had to come in very and quite early in the game. And then you look at the over there on your screens, you see the team Rwanda, a team that has picked up 2 victories from 2, played in 3 consecutive games. And then the Ghana side still yet looking for their victory in their 3rd game.
Team Rwanda, you see in there at the cricket lab having a bit of conversation among themselves, getting ready for this big game.
On the leg side, Kende Amusa, and Ghana will capitalize on that as they add more runs to the board for the team. It is not looking good. Any more fall of wickets, and it is just a matter of time before we see the female Yellow Greens eat into the tail end batting order of the Ghanaian side.
You saw Kehinde Amusa, she was doing the right things until that ball where she tried to do the wrong thing, and if she consistently does that she did in that 4th ball of her over, she won't get the result that she's actually looking for. An appeal that Siyolise Nomsa Diam is not interested in.
Having to lead by example, there's Jacqueline Kokam. She has stayed longer than the rest of her teammates who have come in to bat. And that ends the second over for us. 3 runs for 2 wickets.
The optics are not good enough for Team Ghana after 2 overs. What they require, they are not getting at all. No thanks to the bowling of Peace Hussein and Kehinde Amusa. Peace Hussein is back again at the Court of Appeal end. In that first over of hers, she got a wicket. Let's see whether she will get another wicket to make it 5 with the captain of Rwanda.
Abigail is going to make her work really, really hard to get a wicket. Because seeing those wickets fall quite early, and Ghana looking to build a reputation of not playing all out. They've been unsuccessful in 2 previous attempts in keeping their wicket or wickets or playing out their overs against this Nigerian side. The 3rd time probably might be the charm for them. A victory looks very, very uncertain at this point, but it's too early to draw conclusions on the game. Still a lot of balls to aid the chase.
Abigail Amuzu finding it difficult to play the balls of Peace Hussein. And Captain Jacqueline Kokam watches from the non-striker end, hoping that there will be a contact to give them the runs that they require. Plays it up and save. That was the contact I was talking about. And ladies and gentlemen, the first boundary of this second innings comes from Abigail Amuzu. Just when we asked, she gave us what we wanted.
That ball was already hard for it taking. She waited, that ball pitched a little bit short. The turn was actualized before reaching the batter. And it heeded Abigail's sense of direction on where to put that ball. On the leg side it was coming, and on the leg side it was sent to.
7 runs for loss of 2 wickets, 2.4 overs gone. They need 153 runs in 104 balls. No feat is insurmountable or unachievable. Good comeback there from Peace Hussein.
Still the same movement from Abigail Muzu, waiting for that ball. Peace has been putting that ball quite short of her. And there's a good field in there, big chase to stop any boundaries from actualizing. A very big boost for the Nigerian female side. Abigail on her debut is looking like the person that is holding that mantle and trying to raise the momentum of the Ghanaian team back on. A huge responsibility on debut. Not a very good look that the rest of the team have put out there, or very good stew that they've put out there for her to lay. But she's here and she's laying her own. Just look at that ball again. That was that first 4 that was picked, and the fielder only could chase and watch it. Not too much to do there, just find the direction and picked it above the infielders.
That's the end of the 3rd over. 9 runs for loss of 2 wickets. Need 151 runs in 1 and 2 balls. Their current run rate is for 3.00, and what is required is 8.88. Good shot there, but there's a breaking communication, run out chance. Missed opportunity The replay would help you talk about how Nigeria missed a chance to run out.
The hesitation from the batters was what prompted the fielder to relax a little bit before they actually went ahead. And before she could pick up on that, she had already seen it too late. A very risky decision there, but risk comes with reward. It was either that one was gotten or a wicket. One had to come in, and Ghana had the last laugh of that ball.
Salome Sunday was accountable for that run-out chance that Nigeria missed. No run there. Kehinde Amusa into a second over, but more importantly, the fourth over of the second innings. Nigeria still asking questions. .3 overs gone. Much better over for Kehinde Amusa, where she's not giving away too much runs except for that one run.
Our balls have been going quite a lot to the leg side. 3 LBW appeals so far by Kehinde Amusa. But even from this end, you can see that those balls were going way outside of the leg stump. Look at that ball again. It was not coming on the stumps. Wasn't a threat to the stump. Very tight decision there by the umpire.
Maybe the replay will suggest it, but like we say, umpire's decision is final. But from what I'm seeing here, it's a different thing entirely. But again, the umpires see better and they know better.
Game is going quite slowly. Ghana at this point cannot afford to lose another wicket. Abigail is doing actually very, very well, but there's still a lot more to be done. 11 runs for 2 wickets after 4 overs is the score.
149 runs in 96 balls. Peter, looks like a daunting task for Team Ghana, especially when you have 2 experienced players already out, Rashida Tusalia and Kate Awua, and then captain has to take responsibility, Jacqueline Kokam and Abigail Amuzu, who has done well with the bat, scoring 7 runs after facing 12 balls. Into the third over for Peace Hussein. She's still in search of another wicket to level up with Bimeimana Maridiani, who has taken 5 wickets from the 2 matches she has played. She's on 4 already.
The female Yellow Greens want to end this match as quickly as possible, and they are going with their best bowlers to go after the Storms, get as many wickets as possible before breaking this opening bowling partnership.
But you know, Abigail Amuzu holding her own against Peace Hussein. As far as bowling is concerned, 3 more good balls to be bowled. And that would mean she has just 1 more over left. Let's see whether she can surpass what she did in the first game or probably level up. In the first game, she won the player of the match by taking 3 wickets for 16 runs in 4 overs.
That googly turn on the ball just wasn't on the stumps. If that ball was on the stumps, probably would have gotten that wicket that she's looking for. But Abigail Amusu is building, herself in that popping crease. 16 balls faced so far, 7 runs to her name. It might be low, but it's a debut, and she's having to. She understands the fact that they need to stay there and just play out the rest of this over. Give Nigeria, put the bowlers, make the bowlers, a little bit frustrated.
The bowling of Pisusen reminds me of myself when I bowl that kind of ball in my dreams. But you have to say that her bowling spell has been very good into her third over, and only 7 runs has been given. One more good ball to be bowled, and then it will be 3 overs gone. She has 1 wicket to her credit and 1 more over to go.
Certainly not a wicket off that last ball, but a maiden over was berthed for Pisusen. 5 overs completed. Ghana couldn't add a single run in this over to 11-4-2.
Five overs gone, 11 runs for loss of 2 wickets. 149 runs in 90 balls is what is required. Their current run rate is 2.20, and what they require is 9.93. That was a brilliant over from Pisusen, making it the 5th maiden we'll be getting. Ladies and gentlemen, an appeal, but then all jubilation by the female yellow-green ended in futility because Nomsa Siolise Diam, the standing umpire, not interested. But what she's interested in, let the game continue. Kehinde Amusa into a third over. Already has a wicket to her credit. Oh, brilliant shot there. They want to do 2, but 2 will prove costly and risky. But 1 is okay.
I doubt that the female yellow greens will expand their field settings after this power play. The Ghanaian batters haven't given them a reason, or haven't actually give them a reason to run around the field. Just putting that ball and killing that ball down, and just the infielders have been doing most of the work, and they've not really been running. They've just been going to pick those balls as the balls have been in the direction.
Well, Peter, that's the decision of the captain of the side, Lucky Piety. She will decide whatever she wants with the remaining bowlers. What a brilliant bowling there from Kehinde. 2 more good balls to be bowled. But Peter, it's great to see the former captain of the female yellow-green, former vice captain to now the assistant coach of the female yellow-green Blessing team. I'm talking about Favour Esiegbe here with us at the ground, and having a conversation with her. She just finished serving Nigeria in the National Youth Service Corps, and she told me, I came to cheer up my team, and I'm waiting to enroll for my master's degree program. That is what the president preaches, Dr. Uyo Sanu Sawaru Akwata, who also was, a graduate of University of Lagos, and at a very young age was, a big officer with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and now he's preaching that play the game and also get an education. The reason we are not seeing Lily Anude, and the captain of Nigeria, former, who represents the board on the Cricket Federation, is also exemplifying that, has a first degree with Lagos State University or Ojo, but found out that he was in the wrong place and had to come to the right place to have a master's degree at the University of Lagos. This brings me to say, welcome on board once again, former captain of Nigeria Cricket National Team and player rep on the board of Cricket Federation, who is now a proud alumnus of University of Lagos. Endurance of him to take over.
Good afternoon, Ajida and Peter. Nice to be here today. It's good to see the progression of proceedings. 148 runs of 84 deliveries is what Ghana require. Looking like a tall order, but it's the end of 6 overs. 6 overs bowled, and it's 12 runs. Current run rate sitting at 2 and over, and required is 10.5. Hopefully, we get some live here. A brilliant shot this time over mid-wicket. Running between wicket protection in the dip to ensure that it will just be a single.
Four overs in quick succession for Peace Usian. Sent in to finish our overs as quick as possible and also hopefully get a wicket. Gets that wicket, she does. A wicket that has been long coming. And that is the wicket of debutant Abigail Amusun. That lack of footwork from the batter did not give her that leverage of closing the gap between bat and ball. And as the result was carrying that ball to the infielder at covers. Big wicket for the female Yellow Greens.
Abigail will depart for 7 after facing 23 deliveries. It's Hussein Peace who does the magic for Nigeria. Happy moment for the Yellow Greens. And hopefully they can gradually squeeze things here to finish on a high note. And that delivery again in the air and just chipped in. And a simple catch made slightly difficult. Hopefully this afternoon will be the first class of a game.
The opening batter has been taken down to number 5 has had to finally come in. Elizabeth Ano, seen for most of this game, opening batting in pair with Rashida Celia. Now she's here and she's facing Peace Usian. Remains to see if that decision to bring her down was actually a good one, or she's coming in with more pressure than it is, as an opening batter.
Swipes across, big appeal. Umpire not interested. Rajesh is enjoying his time out here. He loves to umpire and does a bit of traveling around the continents of Africa, Europe, and Asia. Probably been to a couple of countries. Clearly, Anore trying to go across, creating room to get that ball on the leg side. This time, it's another wicket. Peace Hussein being consistent, being resilient, bowling those gentle, medium pace. Call it gentle. It's another wicket. That delivery again. Just on that off stump line, asking those questions, creating room, and that's it. The bails of the wicket, and that celebration. .147 required of 79 delivery. Yeah, this is Ghana struggling here, but they got better today again, conceding over 200 plus in the first game. Yesterday, today, they've been building on their consistency, gradually improving. But it would be nice to see them back through 20 overs. Hopefully, leave today with some confidence ahead of Tuesday fixtures.
13 for 4 after 6.5. Peace Hussein, of course, up once again, picking up a third wicket. If you're asking yourself, Peter, why Peace Hussein is always picking up wickets, I had a chance to talk to her right after the toss. As interestingly, run out chance on that occasion, miscommunication, and the run out is being completed as easy as you want. A very good collective performance from the female yellow greens. Sloppiness there from the Ghanaians. Those two seem to be communicating on different networks as Rebecca has to depart once again without troubling the scorers. They pick up their fifth is the female yellow greens making a statement on one of the games that used to be a derby, but this time round it is turning out to look as a one-sided game.
Desperation is taking a toll on the Ghanaians. They've lost so many wickets, and they want to try and put something competitive on the board. They've been losing. They've lost back-to-back games with at least a 100-run margin. Yesterday they lost by 99. Today it's looking very likely that they will even lose with a bigger score by a bigger run margin than yesterday, and they want to try and close in on that as much as possible. A desperation that the Nigerian female yellow greens will feed off of.
17 overs done and dusted. The scoreboard reading 14 for 5. Coming back to what I was telling you, Peter and Andy. Interestingly, we Lucky Paiti right after the toss. She called Peace Hussein to be the one who selects the ball that they use. One of the reasons, if you're asking yourself why she has picked up 3 wickets and she was the player of the match, of course, with her bowling figures in the first game. She told me that she's always looking for the ball that is very light. One of the reasons I think it is working in her favor. 14 for 5 after 7 overs.
Favour F. Young will be debuting today and will bowl her first delivery for the women's senior team from the pavilion end of this prestigious TBS cricket over. F. Young, Favour into the mark. Straight up and ask that needed question on the wicket line. And Jacqueline will just present the full face of the bat. Plenty of support and rally for young Favour making her debut. Convinced the coaches and selectors 2 weeks ago after the camp in Benin. In the air, will it be a catch for her? Yes, it is, and it's taking a bit of confusion there. We hope she's okay. Too close to call. Happy moments for young Favour.
Yeah, that back edge and the coalition, boy, it came with a reward, and the reward was that big catch there in just a little bit outside of the 30-yard cycle. Very happy that Peace Hussein is okay in that catch in the day. But Christabel has been very, very efficient in the field. 1 catch, 1 run out before today. 2 catches already for the young lady. The female yellow greens are not leaving any stone unturned, especially against the familiar foe that is the fellow West African country, Ghana.
Christabel Chukwuonye, one of my favorite fielders in the region. The old hopper, she's back on her feet. She did her part with the bat, especially given that they will be playing their next game after the rest day against the Rwandan side. We all know the rivalry between those two sides. We saw, of course, some very good contributions from the middle order batters, the likes of Kahinde Amusa, a good contribution from the captain up front in the power play, 23 runs from 17. It's going to be one of the games to watch, of course. 14 for the loss of for the loss of 6 wickets. The debutant, of course, picking up her first wicket in T20 Internationals, shot number 32. Loud appeal on that occasion, but the umpire says that was going down the leg side. We've seen, Peter, a lot of debutants making a statement in this tournament. We saw the young Fanny Utagushima Nima making records all over. She's been all over the papers around the world. Favour, of course, she comes in to fill big boots of the likes of Lidan Ude and Anointed Akibe. She's yet to concede the run, picked up a wicket from the very second delivery in T20 Internationals. How many more can he pick for her side? 14 for 6 after 17.3. Can this be the lowest total in all the invitational tournaments?
That is what Ghana are trying to do. Ghana are trying to. They've already had a record for being losing by the most number of runs, and they do not want to be that team that will also be at the other side of the table, scoring the lowest amount of runs. That is what they were trying to do. That was right. They were trying to get. The desperation was there to put as much runs as possible because the wickets will surely fall, and they were trying to take advantage of that time frame, which has not worked out fine so far for the team.
Pretty much important to take out the positives from this Ghanaian side. The good thing is they are here now. And they're learning a lot from these big brothers, big sisters around the continent of Africa and giving them the opportunity to come for this tournament. It's good to see in the air, but safe run-out opportunity. I was quick in between wicket between Maria and Grace.
Nearly picks up, of course, her second wicket in his favor. As we come to the end of the 8th, it's 15 for 6, needing 145 in the next 72 deliveries. But again, you've got to feel for Team Ghana, one of the teams that would be eager to go into that race there. They have conceded 537 runs in their 60 overs they've bowled in the 5th edition. You can feel the fatigue is catching up on the Ghanaians.
They've been very, very excellent. I would say, especially from the first game, they've picked up a little bit of momentum. We've seen standout performances. Just from one debutant to another for the female Yellow Greens, it is Henrietta Mbam coming from the Court of Appeal end to complement the bowling over all Favour Effiong.
Starts off with a wicket in international cricket. Look at the celebrations from her teammates. Is Henrietta. The 7th wicket fall. The debutants are making a statement in their very first game in T20 internationals.
A ball on the stump. The inexperience of Grace being a tail-end batter could only know nothing other than cross-batting, as she's not really good on that front foot. On the raw stump, that ball went, and of the bills it took. And Ghana are a wicket down, and they're on the verge of posting the lowest total by any team in the West African Trophy.
And clearly, jubilations. And that again, you could see that drift, front-on action, and just leaving that one outside the off-stump with that drift coming onto the up-stump. A much-needed wicket for Nigeria, trying to quicken things up here and giving the youngsters the opportunity to be out here. And this is very good for Nigeria. Ghana would wonder about what could have gone wrong. Don't blame yourselves, ladies. You need time to flesh into this one. Plenty of development yet to be done back home. But the most important thing is the playing opportunity, which is on the cards now. And hopefully, they'll be back again next year with better proposition to compete in this tournament.
I agree with you there. Very good point there you raise. Is the exposure. More games, I believe, next year in the 6th edition. We'll see more of a good performance from the Ghanaian side. A lot of positives, of course, to take back home as they lose their 7th wicket. It is 15 after 8.1 overs. Should be 7 wickets there on your screens. We apologize. She would love, of course, to clean up the tail is the debutant, Henrietta. The bowlers, of course, of the female Yellow Greens have wreaked havoc down the leg side into the pads, but this time round they don't sneak in for a single. Peter later on, of course, he will be telling us the lowest total in the Nigeria Invitationals. This used to be in the West African Derby. I'm not sure if it's still the West African Derby. I believe 3-4 years ago, they used to give you a round of the money
Well, with the men's team, yes. 2008, I remember they were very strong, the men's team, but not sure where they're ranked at the moment with the qualifiers in Ghana. Presently, we saw this morning Seychelles arrive in Accra for the ICC qualifiers. We'll be following proceedings as well in that tournament. Beautiful line, run out opportunity. Everyone screaming around the wicket. Bam, Henriette is just making sure she keeps things simple. It's a good opportunity to see her. Hope that she builds on this one. This time drifting down the leg side. She's got to focus and do more. And keep hitting top of up stump. A lot more focus will be required there. And special thanks to our sponsors, Providos, Nigerian Breweries, Dafabet, and Russo Advisory. Making sure that we're able to play in this tournament. That one flighted, yes, umpire calls it right.
Struggling in her very fast over in international cricket. In the air under question, drop shot to the fielder, run out chance. Ooh, she doesn't collect the ball. You can tell the pressure of being on debut from the young Henrietta. Would have been the 8th wicketer if she had collected that catch, that throw from the fielder at covers.
There's more hard work required from her. She's continuing to show that consistency, looking like Nigeria would finish this up quickly here. Another wide delivery to umpire's line calls. 19 for 7, 8.4. Run rate rising like the rising sun to 12.4 and over required. 141, 68 deliveries left. Another dot.
Still yet to be played for any ball on the stumps. Henriette Umbam, she's not all the runs that she's given out in this over have come from extras. And Ghana have narrowly just gone above the lowest competitive total in this women's invitational. The previous score was set by Gambia 14-4-6 in a reduced over courtesy of a weather factor against the Sierra Leone in the 2022 edition of the National Women's Invitational. And then to the 9th over, it is 20 on the board, 4-7 wickets.
Favour has been given her second over from the pavilion end. Of course, the captain, Lucky Paiti, would love to see her cleaning up the tail. Into the pitch, but this time round, not enough timing from the young Grace. Rasta into that shot. Can tell this youngster Favour, if she's been working under, of course, the likes of the coaches Theophilus and Leke, she can generate pace. Just give her a couple of years. Full on the occasion, Laura Peel, and this time round she picks up her second wicket, full and straight, as they lose their 8th wicket. Is Team Ghana.
Not looking good for the Ghanaian side. Very good letting ball, full pitch onto the back foot. Was already in line of the wicket. That was a leg stump ball. Good call by the umpire. And Favour F. Young is having a dream debut for the women's female yellow-green.
And of course, with that wicket, the umpires have decided to give the two sides a drinks break. And of course, do enjoy some of the highlights as we'll be back. But do not go anywhere. We have a clash of a game on our hands here at the Tafawa Balewa Square as Team Rwanda, yet to lose a game, will be taking on the South Africa Under-19s. Right, we're done and dusted with the drinks break of our match day 3 game number 5, 24-8, right after 9.2 overs. Let's have a look at the young South African team gearing up to face off with the Team Rwanda. Expect to see a fantastic game this afternoon. Wides on offer there from Favor, who now changes ends coming round the wicket to the left-hander, Ernestina. I don't mind the idea there, Peter. Seeing her changing ends, trying to see if she can angle one into the left-hander. And now I believe she has decided otherwise. Maybe the captain, Lucky Paiti, has told her to stick to her angle coming, of course, over the wicket. Swing and a miss, shaping away from the left-hander.
The left arm, right arm batting combination is, proves a little bit of a difficulty. And so what Favor Effiong has done is adjust her wrist and is turning it towards the leg side, swinging that ball and keeping that ball just on the offside of the left arm batter.
Swing and a miss, pace owner from Favor. Not giving the tail-enders any room whatsoever to work with. Targeting that top of off. Should love, of course, to close off her second over. She's picked up already 2. Went for only 2 runs. The whole field is inside the ring apart from the third man. They went for the kill, and boy oh boy have they gone for the kill is the female yellow greens. Being won by the umpire. His Favor running into the danger zone there.
This Ghanaian, they've made the Ghana batters bat according to what they are bowling. They've not been given any reason as to play with an expanded field setting. It's working out great, and Ghana are on the receiving end of this bowling.
Laulo Pit again should have been missing leg stump as we come to the end of the 10th, already halfway stage of the first innings of the chase, of course. 21 for 8 after 10, needing 139 in 60 balls. It's very good captaincy there from Lucky Paiti. Very selfless, giving the young debutant. Knocks her over straight away, making sure Henrietta picks up her second wicket. A lot of credit has to go to Lucky Paiti, Peter.
I expected her to give Henrietta another chance. We had same ball as last time. The first ball off the off stump in the previous over. This time around, same thing, just a little bit lower and taking advantage of that tail-end inexperience in dealing with those kind of situations. And in swing perfectly on the off stump. Another wicket off another first ball of another over for Henrietta.
She's gone for only 5 runs on debut, picking up 2 wickets. She would love, of course, to close off this game for the female yellow greens, who've been very, very fantastic in the field and put on a very good collective performance with the batter, led by the captain once again. Very good contributions from the middle order batters, Kende Amusa and Christabel Chukwuonye. The biggest worry in that batting department would be Salome Sande, given that she's tormented the Rwandan side in the past couple of years.
She's had her own experience against the Rwanda side. These are two sides that launched this tournament, started off as a bilateral series, and more teams have been involved, but both teams have been consistently present. So they go a long way, a long while back in terms of connection and rivalry.
Talking about Salome, remember, if I'm not mistaken, the previous edition, she picked her form at the right time for the female yellow greens, scoring 60, if I'm not mistaken, against Team Rwanda. 22 for 9. Swing and a miss, nearly takes the outside edge.
Beautiful footwork from Esther back in women. She's not getting the ball, but due to again her inexperience and the slow rhythm that she's moving with, Arietta is coming as fast as possible, as fast as she can. And if that ball is on the stumps, remains to see if Esther can cope with it.
Full again on that occasion. They can't afford to give away a run out on the last wicket. But again, very good bowling performance from the female yellow greens. If you remember, in the past 2 games, the Ghanaians have managed to cross 70 runs against Team Rwanda and the South Africa under 19. But today, they've been outfoxed by the bowling attack of the female yellow greens, led once again by Peace Hussein, picking up 3 wickets again. Make that 6 wickets in the tournament so far. 23 for 9 after 10.3.
Yeah, that decision to bring in their batters quite early, they brought in all their top order quite early and did not have time to analyze the game, and that didn't work out for them. And now they've gone out all out on a very, very low score. 29, this is their lowest so far in the Nigeria Women's Invitational. It's not a good look for this Ghanaian side, but going forward, they still have 1 more game to play against the Zimbabwe under 19. Probably might look to push on from there, but for today, the victory is Nigeria's, winning by 136 runs.
A very good performance as they pick up yet another win. Let's have a look at the last wicket. 3 wickets on debut have been bowled, knocking over the off stump and middle stump. Nigeria, of course, winning by 136. A lot of positives, as we mentioned, for the Ghanaian side, but this time round they've been outfoxed. Let's have a look at the match summary of match day 3, game number 5. Nigeria earlier won the toss, decided to have a bat first, led by Christabel Chukwuonye's 43 off 27. Amusa Kahinde once again contributing with the bat, 36 off 39. Lucky Paiti put on a show in the power play, 23 off 17. A wicket apiece from Kate, Grace, Esun and Grace. But Ghana in the response, in the chaser, they've been bowled out for 23 all out inside 10.4 overs. Nigeria winning by 136 runs. Do enjoy some of the highlights as Peter will be back shortly with the post-match presentation award.
And it is the post-match interview for the game between Nigeria and Ghana of the Women's Invitational Tournament. Nigeria won the toss, electing two back fours, beating Ghana, getting Ghana all out. And we're going to speak with the captain of the Ghanaian side, Jaku Polkam. Jaku, please come forward. Good afternoon, Jaku. You guys came in today, another unlucky result, having to come in and bat and chase, and which was unsuccessful the third time in a row. How do you feel about the game?
Well, what I would say is we wish ourselves hard and we wish ourselves better luck next time. Thank you.
Yeah, we've seen better performances from your players today. We saw Rebecca Adotie giving out just 16 runs in 4 overs. There'll be more improvement from your players. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm proud of them, and I know our next match we will do much better than what we did today.
Yeah, one more game to go for Ghana, and we hope to see you do better. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
And quickly, we are going to call the captain of Nigeria, Lucky Party, to come for our interview. Lucky Party, beautiful result today against the familiar side that you're very familiar with. 2 debutants today, 2 debutants who performed beautifully in the bowling and in the batting as well. You were excellent for the team. How does that speak about you and the team as a whole?
It was a good game for us. We did well. We stuck to the plan that we had alongside the toss, which was a very, very good start for us for the game. And for the debutant, they did very, very well. And well done to the team who backed them up to make sure they put up like that excellent performance.
Back-to-back wins for you, and your next team is going to be the side that you're very familiar with, the Rwanda. And we hope to see you go out there. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before we go into the player of the match award, we have to note some very, very good performances with the likes of Christabel Chukwunoye knocking 43 of 27 balls, Amusa Kainde also knocking 33 of 39 balls, and Umbano Rieta on a debut picking up 3 wickets in 1.4 overs, giving out just 7 runs. But the player of the match is a bowler, and also man of the match, player of the match for previous performance is Peace Hussein, after 4 overs, getting a maiden and 3 wickets and conceding just 9 runs. And the award will be presented by former ex-international of the Nigerian cricket, Dikko Idowu. Back-to-back man of the match performance for you, Peace Hussein. Picked 3 wickets in the first game, 3 wickets in the second game, and another game after the rest day tomorrow. You've been very, very prolific and efficient in your spin turning. Was that a tactical approach coming up the order of the bowling numbers?
It's coming again.
You've come up the bowling order, coming in. You stepped in for leading Lillian Ude today as the opening bowler. Was that a tactical decision that you came up with today, or it's been already pre-planned before now?
Pre-planned.
Thank you very much. We actually enjoy seeing you guys play, and we hope to see more performance and more man of the match awards to you and the rest of the team. Thank you very much. Please, Hussein.
Thank you.
I'll call it down. And that is it for the post-match interview. See you for the second game between Rwanda and the South African under-19.